Hello, greetings to everyone. Now, I was gonna just do this, but and leave it. But now I have to tell it to find this. No. Okay. Find. There we go. So, greetings to everyone. I discovered the Stanley Parables on special, right? And this is a game I've been wanting to play for the longest freaking time. And I just was like, I'm playing this. Yo, what up, Donna Stuck? How you doing? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. So I just was like, I'm gonna play this now because I need to. My life depends upon actually playing the Stanley Parable as opposed to watching excuse me, a bunch of people play it. Now, have I ever played it? No, I've never played Stanley Parable before. Until the computer is barely visible. It's like... That's barely visible. I'm pretty good. I mean, a bit hungry, but, I mean... Please enter the current time. What is the current time? It's 8:09. Cool. I don't know why it wants me to enter time. No, it's not. It's hard to say what kind of a game this is. It's weird. It's more mind bending. Now, take a look.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked.
Yo, hello, Steph. How you doing?
Where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order.
Yes.
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment the orders came in, as though he had been made.
Game is very quiet. Oh, give me a minute.
And Stanley was happy.
That's not a bad equivalent.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Is that better,
Something that
Steph?
would forever change Stanley.
Oops, I clicked. There was no one here. Okay. What can I interact with?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I have no idea what that just did, but... So, there's multiple branching parts in this game?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Kind of. Should I go through the door on the left or the door on the right? What does chat think? Left. Okay. Will be nice. That's very white.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I went right. I'm so sorry. High quality person. We need less reviews. What the hell's it doing? Get rid of the death sport portion of the primary review schedule. More watercolors, more more watercolor heaters. What is going? Everyone is unique. You most of all. Okay. Ooh, what's this? Ah, broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Steak fajitas. Fajitas.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet.
But I like
no
the broom
reason
closet.
to still be here.
Maybe not, but I like it here. Ooh, what's that? Can I crouch? No, I can't crouch. There's gotta be something
It
here.
was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet.
Is it?
He wasn't even doing anything. At least
am.
if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Okay. Should I go? I don't think so. I don't want to.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing?
Yes.
Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I like broom closets. Broom closets are small, cozy. They don't have they don't have painted walls for some reason,
You
but
do
whatever.
realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said
No.
Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out.
Yeah.
But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
Yeah, but I
never
can
would have
walk in
thought
it.
to mention it.
Can't I? Wouldn't you? No.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path.
Yes.
Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite."
What?
I hope your friends find this concerning.
Well, my friends would just think I'm a bit of a dumbass.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is.
What?
That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
I am? What?
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom
what?
closet, explored it
Sorry.
a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible
Sorry.
thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer
I'm wearing
is
headphones.
dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Fine.
Ah, second player, it's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
No, he doesn't. That's part of the game. Oh, it's network error. The voice. I like his voice. It's such a calming voice.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley
Yeah.
walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. Let's just do a full run through of the main. Executive bathroom. Ooh. Oh, it's very nice in here. To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, is it rich? Isn't it rich? What? What is going on here? No. Okay. Ha! Okay, this door's don't open. What do I do in here?
Stepping into his
Ooh,
manager's
I'm
office,
totally not in the back
Stanley was
rooms,
once
it's
again
fine.
stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled,
That is a really
Stanley
tall
wondered in
ceiling.
disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known
Was that the only
was
one
that the
who thought that was a door
keypad
for a
behind the
second?
boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
It really is. So, what did you say it was? It was that.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Two, 845.
So, what is it? 2, 8, 4, 5. It does. Look at the ceiling.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
That is. You know, yeah, you said Despicable Me vibes. Look at that shit. It's a nice corner there. It's getting a little bit spooky. It's getting a little bit spoopy.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh, wouldn't it? What the?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Nope. Yeah, wait. Quick thing. I can either go to the mind control facility or I can just escape. You want to see the ending or do you want to see an escape? Actually, I'm going to do an ending. Base ending. Then I'm going to go again. Also, apparently, there's a way of... Oh, shit. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, well. Ow.
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development.
Oh, interesting.
And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours. So here you go. New content.
What? There's
You
new
can call
content?
it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content?
Oh, I didn't say that. I
Always
just
more
fell off.
content, more content, more.
So-
And I'm here to give
I
it
did
to
that completely by
you. I'm
mistake.
here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game with
What, you
secrets
did?
and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You
Wait, there's
won't
music?
hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are.
Right.
We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Thank you.
Good job, you did it. Good job.
I didn't mean to do it. Wait, what's that in front of me?
3, 2, 1. Good job. You made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. But railings don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the... What the... Okay. I'm back. It was!
All of his co-workers were gone.
I'm
what
back
could
here.
It mean?
I'm just gonna,
Stanley
like, blitz
decided to
through
go
it
to the
end.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
2845. The mod will be back if anyone misbehaves.
When
Okay.
Stanley came to a
Let's see
set
what
of
happens
two
if I
open
don't botch
doors,
that.
he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, it's part of the thing. If you've...
Yet there was
yeah,
not
the
a
end is
single
never the
person
end. Is
here
never the end.
either.
This is a
Feeling
really weird
wave
game.
of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm just blitzing because I want to see what the next section, what actually happens next. I'm like,
Stepping into his manager's office,
Straight from
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to note. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy.
What?
So he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
open the fucking door, bruh. I didn't know I did this.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. Push the button. Go. So now it's a you talked a lot. Ooh, I just lost 3 viewers. Okay, I'm just blitzing through this entire section because I've done it before. Let's go. I actually want to
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I am not gonna fall to break the game again. Let's just be clear here.
The lights rose on an enormous room
I should
packed
turn
with
the lights on
television
before I
screens.
jumped.
What
before I broke
horrible
it.
secret
Oh, well.
did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he
yeah,
have
it
the
did.
strength to find out?
I gotta. There's got to be other ways to break the game, though. I've done that break. It was a good bop, though.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place
Bruh.
where freedom meant nothing.
Somebody got fired. Okay, cool. Button. Push. Wait, can I
This
push?
mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe
Yeah,
it couldn't be
obviously.
true. Had Stanley really been under
Well, there's
someone's
your load shedding
control all
too, so
this
like, whatever.
time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been
calm down,
manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yeah, apparently.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His
I
own
can't.
life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I don't think so.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls
So fun.
labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its
we had
terrible
SCOM
power
and
over
it-
another human life. For he
I just got an achievement
would
called
dismantle
this is your
the
first
controls
achievement, which
once
my
and
avatar's
for
over, so-
all.
Whoops. So the question is, do I put an end to it or do I just take control? No, let's put an end to it. Let's see what the actual ending is. I need more endings. Yeah, okay, cool. Boom. The end is never the end, 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 is never the end. Oh, it's always the end, it's always the end.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
I don't know.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how
Hello?
many
No.
puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness.
What?
Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his.
Ooh,
And that was all he needed to know.
is that
It
pretty?
was
That's a
perhaps
pretty view.
the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Poggers did.
Stanley
Pog.
felt the cool
Pog.
breeze upon his skin.
Pog, we finished it,
the
boys.
feeling of
We finished it,
liberation.
gamers.
The immense possibility of the new path
We finished it,
before
everyone who
him.
decided to watch.
This was exactly
this-
the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
boys won.
And Stanley
Dope.
was happy.
But unfortunately with this game, the end is never the end, 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 is never the end. Ooh, beat the game, I got an achievement, man, boys. But the end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. What the fuck, I'm back here. Okay, time to break the game.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ah, itchy eye. Had I missed? Do you guys think I missed a memo? He did. But now it's time to piss off the narrator. Let's see how we can piss him off. Oh, door won't open. Something in there.
When Stanley
thank
came
you.
to a set of
That
two
was
open
nice.
doors, this was not the
Cheerio,
correct way
old
to the
sport.
meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yep.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Okay. Oh, it is a nice employee
Yes,
lounge.
truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Oh, it is nice. Okay, let's get the hell out.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Is it? Ooh, boxes. I can't go up on them. Ah, that. Haha.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really,
have?
I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you forgot. What? Really?
Yep.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
And what chance would that be then, lads?
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Yes, I did. That was the red door.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want
Yes,
to find
please
out
show
what
me.
lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Oh, you
You see?
spiteful.
There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place.
Why?
Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see.
What's
Help
that
me
over
here,
there?
Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work
Yes.
with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Okay.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version.
So what do you
Would you
think,
say
eh,
that the game
Laurentis?
benefited from allowing you
Raven?
more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Is that worth a 1, 2, 3, or a 4, or you know, yeah, a 5? 5, boys. I would say a 3. Let's see, middle of the road, everything.
Oh, of course. A 3.
Yes.
Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings? Does that sound good? Think we can do that? Yes? Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Here,
Yes.
based
Open
on the data
second
from your
door.
previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version.
You
To be
have?
perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
What? There's a lead. Why is there a leaderboard?
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting.
Playtesting.
You wouldn't
Okay.
mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
What?
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a
Fair.
very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
He does look cold.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah.
It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable.
You're unhelpful.
Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes. This seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Wait, what? What are you loading in now? The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. Loading! The end is loading. Oh. Wait, what is this?
Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose.
I mean,
Yes,
live in
that
this
must be
tower
it. What
if it
a
was just me
fascinating
alone up
venture
here.
into the experience of total mental
Kitchen.
depravity. So far,
no
I love
toilet, though.
everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Chlorix. There's Chlorix. What is out here? Ah! Let's go this way. Does anyone know what game this is riffing on? Because I can't remember what it's called. I swear this is riffing on something. Seems vaguely familiar. Firewatch, that's the game. Does it? It does look a lot like Firewatch, doesn't it? I assure you though, this is definitely a Stanley Parable. Wait for it. Oh, it is. Ooh,
Oh, no, it can't be.
there he is, lads. Can't be what?
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
What?
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call.
Why have you done that?
I really wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow.
And?
You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it.
Wow.
Out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Why? Okay, let's see if we can get back upstairs before he changes the
I
game
think
again.
This will be just the thing.
Ah, he changed the game. What?
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had
Anyone
in
else
mind.
want Rocket
Just a
League?
nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design.
Right.
Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun.
What
We
the
shall
hell's
run the
sports
bases
ball?
and do a touchdown together? Yes,
What?
I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Whee! This ball is bigger than This ball's bigger than my entire existence, man.
Are you
Anyone
doing
else-
it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here
What?
comes another ball.
Give me more speed then.
Yes. Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it?
Let's see what
Stanley,
happens if
I'm
I-
like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls.
Why? There are balls! Balls! Give me balls! Balls! Oh, balls! Balls! Balls!
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this
No,
a
I'm
real
having
video
the best
game?
time.
Well, I sure
You
hope you're
call
having a
them
good time,
balls.
because guess what? It's over. That's
What?
right.
No.
Your little fun comes
That's
to an
mean.
end.
Give
This
it
is
back. Give me
my
back the
game,
balls.
and what I say goes.
I'm not even gonna fuss him.
You get to have fun when I let
Oh,
you, Stanley.
balls,
Besides,
balls,
you need
balls,
someone like
balls.
me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I am structure.
Give me the
I'm your
fucking balls
sense
back.
of purpose. And since you decided
No
you didn't want to play
balls.
my game, now I
No
don't want to play
balls.
with you
No
either. So
balls.
goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving.
You know what?
See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't
It's very
think you'll
pretty looking
enjoy
in
it
here.
as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best.
Oh,
Take care, Stanley.
wow, you're spiteful. You're a spiteful old twerp, aren't you? Wait, is this it? Do I just run around here forever? Whee! It doesn't throw me. The physics don't work. Give me the freaking balls back! You're right. Where are the fucking balls? No balls. Narrator, you got no balls. No balls. This is horse piss, man. Let's see what happens if I walk into the goals and just like go all the way down to that hole thing. See if I can fall in the hole. Clack, 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 clack. Whee!
Hold on. What are you doing?
Hey, hey, hey.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Fling cabin. Oh, fuck. I didn't think that would happen. Oh. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Have I just wandered into... Is this a horror game or a construction yard? I can't tell. I'm pretty sure that this was a Valve game, isn't it? I missed the balls though. I want the big balls back. Ooh, door. Oh, this is old school portaling. This is old school Stanley Paraboling from like the freaking old. Okay, it doesn't open. The old shit. Where do I go? Where do I go? I wander in circles and break the game. Break the... Okay, nothing opens. Can't touch anything, so that's interesting. These are just... geometrics. I think I just walked... Ooh, what's that? Did I walk in a circle? I think I walked in a circle. Oh, I did. Yeah, that's a circle. Oh, light! Let's head towards the light. That... Ooh! Ooh! Oh. Is there gonna be a dog in here telling me what to... Is this... This is the OG, like, demo for the Portal that was, like, made in Counter-Strike or something. Okay, wait, so if I follow this path... Oh, no, it's restarting me. What?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. Okay, can I get back to wandering around the, like, baited version of the map? Oh no, back to the start. Okay, that was an interesting ending. I've
All of
never
his
actually seen that one
co-workers
before.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Had I? I don't know. Okay, let's see what happens if I go across on the elevator, on that lift thing.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Do I?
Wow. Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business,
Yeah,
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Wait.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
No, I didn't. I wonder what's down here.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
Okay.
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake.
You're gonna send me back, aren't you?
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
What are you doing? What? I thought this was your
Let's see,
game.
we went down
You don't
right,
know?
Left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story
do you
is
really?
absolutely, definitely this way.
You're not lying to me again, are you? And that is a generator that looks like it's pulled from Left 4 Dead. Yay. Left 4 Dead 2 specifically. Yes.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler.
Is
Quick,
it?
Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just had to get back to oh. Who am I
Fired.
kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this
Seriously?
time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
What? Again?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
It could
Stanley
mean-
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Maybe I had missed a memo.
When Stanley... Wait, what?
Wait, why
No,
did... Wait.
No, I restarted. I
1,
swear,
2,
I
3,
definitely
4.
restarted the game
Why are
over,
there
completely
7
fresh.
doors
Everything
now?
should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
No, how was I
Did
supposed
you
to change it? I
move
was
the
stuck on the
story
thing.
somewhere, or a... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote
Exactly.
the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Okay. Which... Yeah, that's one I came in. Okay, this one looks interesting. Is there a story here? Guys, tell me if you guys see a story. Actually, no, I think I no-clipped out of the universe. I am now in the back rooms. Did I find the story? No.
I'll
That's not
say
the
it.
story.
This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
Really
Well,
want
I
to.
find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this.
Has
Okay,
it?
let's give it a shot. Why not?
Oh, I was making progress looking around. Bruh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
For context, I'm being asked to throw a plushie across the room backwards. Whee! I did chuck it. Let's see if he... Did you fix the game, narrator, or have you broken it more? And this is going to take forever to fix. Because you're an idiot.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, it's worse.
Yeah.
I might be remembering
it
this
is.
wrong. It's
What have you
possible
done?
the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay, let's try that. This looks like it's changed. Oh, there's an... I turned off a computer. Does that do anything? Turn off another one. Yes.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
What? It does?
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
What, again? What the... Why?
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all.
I can't even look
Is
out
this
the
the
fucking
story?
window.
I don't think so.
No, it's...
I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
Oh, what
Do you
the
know
fuck?
what?
Why can't I go back?
Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put
thank
in
you.
a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job. Oh, no.
Sure.
No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is.
Yeah,
I
there
don't
was a
care what
hallway
might
and
happen
it's
this
gone
time.
now.
I have to restart.
Ah, yeah, we did break.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line.
I found the
Just
Adventure
follow
Line,
the line.
boys.
How simple is that?
Why do they have a TM on it? So quiet. Adventure Line. Let's see what happens if I follow all the way.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I
Well, the
think what
question
we
mark
need
made up
right
of question
now
marks.
is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Yes, give me music.
Wait, cut the music.
Oh, come
Go
on, give me the
back
music
and
back.
look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
Fucking why?
Make sure
Give me
you
the
study
music
it
back.
closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
It's a fucking fern. Give me the music back. I don't give a shit about the fern. Give me my music back. Dun, da, da, dun, da, dun, dun.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story?
Yeah, it ran off.
Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
What? Again? Ha! Adventure Line!
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the Adventure Line. What's it ever done
no
for
more
us?
Adventure
We're
Line.
intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story?
No, let me go to the
Something
Adventure Line.
exciting,
You
daring,
bastard.
mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable.
Does
Why
it?
don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Right, let's go this way.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be?
You've created
Go
a parallax room, you
wild. Use
bastard.
your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
There was a man, but he got stuck in a parallax for all eternity. So he walked in circles for 3 million. What? I actually got back here? Because watch this. So if I go, and enter the parallax for eternity. It's just meandering in circles and more circles and circle. What? Oh! That was a weird amount of circles to end up back here.
Oh, no, not you again.
Yes, Adventure
Stanley,
Line, you're back!
I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story.
Adventure
No lines or
la,
monitor
la,
rooms.
la.
Just
Dun,
don't
dun,
acknowledge it.
dun,
We
dun,
should be
dun,
fine.
dun, 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 dun. Where did he go? Oh, he's gone. That was sad.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And
No.
since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one.
I'm taking the door on the
Another
left,
victory
boys.
for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Damn it.
Oh, hold up, what's
What?
this?
What?
Confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all
What?
determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget?
Simply backspace.
My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing
No, to restart the game.
wall.
What?
Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it?
What?
Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
You need to restart the game.
Okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely
I'm not
fucking
quite
not.
sure
We're
if we're in the
just.
destination or the journey. Though they're
Neither.
always
I
saying
can't
that
even sit
life
down
is
on the one
about the
chair.
journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now.
Now pick up the chair
We'll
and
find out, won't
no.
we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
And there's a restart. The camera Noah.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it.
Fucking
If
what?
he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
What the?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Fine, let's go to the door on the left to see what happens.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Oh no, no, not again.
Yes,
I won't be
yes,
part
yes,
of this.
yes.
I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Does anyone want anything from this room? Should we leave this room? Should we just exist in this room? Okay, let's leave the broom closet. That's enough broom closets. And I'm back. Oh no, didn't do anything.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Nope.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours.
Yeah,
He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single
not
moment
disconcerting
for
at all.
no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Where
Why
are my
did
feet?
doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar.
Did-
Were they simply repeating? No,
So how-
Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
Yes, it is.
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
Aren't I
He
crazy?
thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest
What the hell?
question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
That is it.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice
Voice
describing me,
describing-
thinking about how it's describing my thoughts.
He thought.
And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams,
Doesn't.
the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his
I have
life.
to keep going forward through this thing.
Now, hearing the voice speak
Infinite
these
loop.
words was quite a shock to
Infinite loop.
Stanley.
Infinite loop.
After all,
Infinite
he knew
loop.
for certain, beyond a doubt,
So, where's
that
the
this
car? Is
was
there
in
supposed to be
fact
a
a
car
dream.
room next?
Did the voice not see him float and make the
there
magical
it is.
stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
Isn't
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back,
what?
the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and
Do you
my
have a
job.
wife?
All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life
what?
is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Are you? Nope. You're staring at the floor.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I?
What am I?
And everything went black.
I think I just died screaming.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got
Mariella?
dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like.
Do we?
And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind.
What?
I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this. So it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Ran away from this obviously dead random dude. Okay,
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Never will I be more careful with time. Okay, let's go.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No, I did.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Open a fucking broom closet, you bastard! Why? He locked me out of the broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ooh. What's this? Let's go. Going on up. Oh, is this World Shock? Is no, just comments. That's sad. Dun, 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 dun. He's gone far too far. He's locked the blasted doors. The doors that should never be locked. He has locked them. They are beyond our touch, beyond our senses. Chaka chaka. Is that it? Ugh. I was too impatient. Stuff. Okay, that was a while of arbitrariness.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes
cool.
some buttons. Oh, hey,
Good.
look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
Kill surprise. Kill, kill, kill. There's a giant passage button. Now, do I go down? I go down. Yeah, wee. What the? Mind control, but they don't look
Stanley
after
walked straight
anything.
ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Fuck that.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that
Nope.
at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Good. I'm going to go to my death because fuck
The
that
door
other
behind
shit.
him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Good for me.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yes. Ooh. Death. Geronimo! Oh no, it just reloaded the game. Oh wait, I'm just falling. Whee! Ow. Okay. Oh.
As the
The
machine
Crusher.
whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he
Whatcha
reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
Nope.
Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
Yep.
And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow
Yes.
life. Farewell, Stanley.
I don't know why they have this crush. This is really weird, but anyway. What?
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator,
What?
as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
What have you
In
done?
a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Why have you changed voices? What? Oh. What's this for? Oh, there's a pile of boxes. Oh. Just a pile of boxes. Ooh.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever.
Yeah.
What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Something.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance,
Ooh.
death becomes meaningless, making life the same.
Office layout.
Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Hmm. Huh. The two doors. Huh. Office computers. Oh, I turned off the one playing solitaire. It's fine. They should all be off. What? Button sounds. I do like that one. I prefer that one. Listen to it. Ooh. Okay. The office. That's just a fax machine. Ooh, it's pretty. There is a fucking ant on my monitor. That is weird. Pixel Sith. Are you gay? What? Ding dong gay. Are you... What? Archer, your narrator appreciate previous Stanley as a work of art and standalone title. I appreciate what? Have infinite quests? How many endings? Stanley Power is going to let me go shopping. I hope I have a fine selection of Desert boots. What? How do you make a JRPG? How do you make the worst game ever? What is the difference between a duck? What do you mean? Difference between a duck and what? From a cool man. What the hell? Second trailer questions. Initially planned to use this for promotional materials we found. Then found the perfect use for him. Here's what is this strange number? 1112800. What? Why would that have significance? Well, the thing I want to know is, what would you do if Stanley entered any other room? Okay, that's some arbitrary emails. The apartment? There's an apartment? How do I... Uh-huh. One... Exit. Right.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another.
What?
How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
I just pulled the lever.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
I
No,
can.
perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Perhaps not.
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other
Oh, begin the game again.
way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let
I died. I chose this ending. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
How
Right.
long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
There's a new content door. Should I go through it or should I just keep wandering about? I haven't found everything yet. Ah, new content!
Oh,
Why not?
new content? What does that mean, new content?
I don't know, but it's a door that's open, so I'm going through it. I probably should. That was probably too soon, but whatever. I just want to find a bucket. There is.
Hello, and thank
a
you for playing
bucket.
the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013
But wait,
on
there's
home
more.
computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Why is it
well,
painted
this
on?
sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Okay.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we...
That's a good question.
Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Yeah, mate, I think you're getting a bit too excited about something. This.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if them... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Whoa, this...
All right.
I can
right,
jump.
let's see it.
Watch this, boys. Watch
The
this,
jump
lads.
circle?
Whee! I can jump. I don't want to waste this, but let's go until there's 15 jumps left. I can jump though. Yeah, just 4 more jumps. I can only jump inside. Oh, I'll leave it. Let's see what happens if I keep that.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
I mean, hopefully.
Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new
Yes.
content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20
Please
hours
do.
of new content right there. Hell,
Do
I
it.
could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more.
Yes.
Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it.
Ooh,
I'm ready for whatever it is.
What else is there? Wait,
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley?
I think I missed something.
This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy
They
dollar.
just added
And don't
jumping
get me
and
started
elevators.
on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What
What?
quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
what?
What do you say, friend?
Sure. Let's fucking restart. Why not? I don't see why we shouldn't restart. What the fuck? Huh.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Okay, let's go in the vent. They would shit that way, but okay. Geronimo! Boom. Okay. So we just went through a vent for some reason. Why are there vents everywhere? I have no memory of this. Keep in mind, we're...
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be.
I just
So I
played
made
it.
something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just
Look at
our
these
little
stairs.
secret.
They're quite cool.
Take a look. I
Oh,
call
this
it
is nice.
the
I
Memory
like it.
Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want.
Look at this,
Experiences
it's
like the launch of the
beautiful.
Stanley Parable on PC.
What?
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the
Collector's
game
edition.
originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
It's a BAFTA. The Stanley Parable win a BAFTA. Yes. That's all it ever teaches you, though. Except for that one time. It's quite nice here, isn't it? It's quite a nice little area. British Film and Television Arts nominees debut game. Wait, did they actually get why would BAFTA? Why would they get that for BAFTAs? It's a video game. Does BAFTAs do video games? Ooh.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable.
Don't read
Like
any
this
reviews
stunning
about-
triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear
What?
that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how
What?
grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was
Fucking
literally
what?
every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all.
What?
It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Elevator content's quite nice. Hey, you can jump too. Memories up? Yeah, it doesn't open. Wait, I missed something. Sorry, I'm going back again because I missed something.
Psst! Stanley!
No.
Come over here! In the vent! I want... Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares? Oh,
Okay, I feel.
never mind. You're not a dork.
Okay, I felt bad for him. Okay, I restarted. Then he made me feel bad. Also, I can't do the thing I wanted to do anyway. So, let's retry this again.
Okay, you remember how
Speed.
cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it
Not
got
really.
me
I wasn't
thinking
paying that
about
much
the
attention. I was
past
just jumping.
and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with it? And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this
quite
stunning
nice, isn't it?
triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James
okay.
Stephanie Sterling writes, and
I
I
botched
quote,
this. Shh,
"Where so
sorry.
many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that,
Fucking
Stanley?
what?
Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created.
Persona
it was
3?
Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now
Persona 5?
it's
No.
nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with
Right.
an hour of new elevator content.
No, of new elevator content, and there's. Ooh, that looks pretty.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The
GameSpot.
Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect.
Wait, where did you say
It
that?
didn't need anything else. It didn't need new
I'm so
content.
confused.
It just needed to be left alone. To spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
This is true, but like, I'm gonna still wonder about.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh, no.
I don't know.
God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years.
Sorry, I love
I
it.
can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
It's a Steam review. It's gonna be dog shit.
Honestly, I
Oh,
could
that's a
not
nice
be
one.
bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Up someone's ass? Just an option. Just putting it out there. There's a lot of shit down here, isn't there? Valve.
Okay,
Why are
let's
those
see
so
what
big
this
and then
one
like
says.
recommended as
While the
so
idea for
small?
the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness
Right?
gets annoying
What
fast.
is this
Preachy?
bullshittery?
Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me
Preachy?
if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well,
He is
to
a
be
bit
honest,
preachy.
I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with.
What?
You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to.
Yeah.
These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
Cookie 9.
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt.
Ooh, the sky looks really
Not if
pretty.
it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto.
That
I
seems
do
like a terrible
anything
idea.
for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay. Ooh.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the...
Ah, skipped.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy
Should I skip?
ruminations
Should I skip?
on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations.
Yeah, I'm just gonna skip.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes.
What?
It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Fucking what?
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone.
What the fuck?
I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked
How?
every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no... Oh, Stanley, you're back.
Oh,
You're back. Oh, my goodness.
yes.
I have someone to talk to again.
I
Stanley,
suddenly feel bad.
I think it's been a week.
A week?
Well,
There's
2
only
weeks.
one light on.
I've been sitting here all that time.
the hell
Just
happened?
sitting here, not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button.
Yep.
That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving.
Should I keep
it was
listening?
the
Should I?
vessel I needed, Stanley, not the outcome.
Nope.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have
What?
you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously.
He's going on for a bit, isn't he? Anything? Ah, button. Whee! Okay. This is getting disconcerting. And kind of depressing.
But they didn't understand the
What?
game was never meant to be funny. It was
Oh,
meant
he's
to have
back.
a point.
He's
It was
back.
meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded
You're the
by
one who did
every
it, you
person
dumbass.
at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes!
This
It
guy's lost
seems
his
that this
mind.
is now the world we live in. It seems that
I'm skipping. Sorry. Whee! Huh, that's the trigger.
the end is never the end, 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 is never.
Okay. Well, the thing stopped beeping. There's gotta be a way out of here, isn't there? Aha! Is there? Are we out? Whoa! What the? Okay, then the ladder broke. Not the. There's rain. There's sunlight. Ooh, nice. This ladder just hasn't broken down yet. The concrete broke before the ladder broke. Oh, it's beautiful. Wait, is this the phone he told me to take? Oh, fuck, what's the point of the phone? Desert. There's deserts. Maybe the door will break down now? I don't know. What in the fuck? Hmm. Oh. Wow. Okay. What the fuck? Just walking out into the open nothingness of the universe. Let's go, boys. Let's see what's out there. It's out in the endless nothing of just desert. It's very quiet, it's contemplative. It's got music, so that's nice. I do like a bit of music, you know, as it goes. Right, they just restart. The end is never the end, never the end.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Narrator's back.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
A memo, eh? Awaiting input. Wait, are there other kids? Tell me if you see, are there others like that? You say, wait, can I input more? Input received. Is there another one that's awaiting input?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
You know, I realized I've heard tell in this game of a bucket.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign.
Yeah, it was hard
Yes,
to miss.
I have something very exciting to show you.
Okay. Exciting. Do I need pants? Why? I don't even have legs. Ah, steak fucking does. Yes, yes. Pants for what? I don't apparently even have legs. Look at that. Where are my legs? Show me the legs. I don't have legs for my pants.
You see,
There's
Stanley,
nothing.
I've been
Nothing at
reflecting
all.
on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be.
It's quite tragic,
the
honestly.
original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy.
Should
So
it?
forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
What? Oh, wow. This is nice.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities.
Wow.
It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Yeah, the door's still unopened, but that's cool.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so
Right.
much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe?
It's a
What
good
does it
custom.
even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and
look how
innovation and
fancy it is, yeah.
long-term franchising potential.
Okay.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
What? You calling game
Here
development
we are.
magic?
Go on, try out some of the new features.
Let's see. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Ooh, wait, what's this? What's this? There's collectibles? Free achievement. Ah, there's a free achievement. Let's go pick up this free achievement quickly. Wait, no, that looks like a basement. Let's go somewhere bigger. More fancy. We can find them. What?
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game.
Is it?
In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them,
What?
and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Oh, that's unremarkable life, you bastard. How did you know? Oh, look at it. It's... I have a... There's a number that went up. Okay. Is that it? That was it.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
What? Look,
You know
jump
what,
circle.
Stanley? I actually think the jump circle was a pretty good idea. I'd like to hang on to that for the sequel.
Aha, I jumped. Wait, I am getting a bucket. I must go and get a bucket. Wait, what's up here? Settings World Champion. What? No, I'm gonna go get a bucket. I need my companion cube, my bucket. I need a bucket. No screenshot. Wait, what's in here?
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided
Blue or
on
white? Do we want
Get
blue or
Well
white?
Someday and Happy 12th
I think we should get the white
Birthday.
ones.
Which would you go with?
I'm getting the white ones. White ones!
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along.
Oh, you bastard!
Happy 12th birthday, step-niece it is.
Why? You're a dick. You completely
Or
ignored
actually,
us.
maybe I should have gone with... No, I've
I
made my
told you
decision.
which
We're
one and
moving
you
on.
ignored me. Okay, let's go get a bucket. We need a bucket. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. Actually, no, I know exactly why I'm saying it like that. Because it's fun. It's the best way to say
A
it.
common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game.
What you
It's the
have?
Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding
Oh,
the bucket,
we have a
sense
bucket?
of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true.
This is a
As long as you
bucket.
hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even
But
comforting.
wait,
You
there's
may even
more.
come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And
What?
to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel
Blood
it?
evil laughter.
The
Yes.
glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping
Ooh,
through
the
your
bucket
body. And in
has
fact, can I
bump.
say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Ooh,
I think that
thank
just
you.
holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Do you
The
notice
benefits
it?
of the bucket seem to
I
go
now
on and on,
have
don't they?
much
All
nicer
this and
skin
more awaits
because
you
of the
in the Stanley Parable
bucket.
2.
The bucket has made my skin nicer. I have nice skin because of the bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable
a
bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't
Dudes,
already.
merch, dude. Dudes. My dudes. It's a bucket. Wow. Ooh, let's try this.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want
I
to
like the
be
big button.
individually
Big button.
recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
My
Sorry,
name's Jim.
I should have clarified.
I'm sorry, my name is now
right
Jim.
Now, the button only says the name
Jim
Jim.
the elf
But of
says
course, in
hello.
the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is.
It's
Here,
no longer AC,
let's have
it's
you
become
role-play as Jim to
Jim-
really simulate the
Jim.
full experience of this feature.
Hi,
Just play along.
Jimmy
I
Jim,
promise
Jim,
you'll love it.
Jim.
Okay,
My
here
name
we
is
go.
Jim.
Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
My name.
I want you to imagine
My name
yourself
is Jim.
living as Jim,
I need more
sleeping
buckets.
and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What
Hello,
a rush! That was
my name is-
you! The button described you! Do it again, do it again!
Jim.
Oh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature
Yes.
in the Stanley Parable 2,
Hi,
it would
hi,
still
nice
be
to meet
worth
you,
the money.
Francis. My name is
Let's take a
Jim.
break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation. Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim.
Jim.
I'm putting the Jim button
Jim.
away.
Jim.
Otherwise,
No,
soon
no.
you'll start to lose all sense of who you
But I'm
actually
actually
are.
Jim. What are you doing?
Jim.
Don't put it away.
Jim.
Ah,
Jim.
you lied to me about putting it away.
Jim.
I'm Jim. Why? Jim. Nice to meet you. I'm Jimmy Jim. He's lying by the door and barking. Is this all there is? I thought you were putting it away, man. I'm bored. But I'm Jimmy Jim. Jim.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
That's just lazy. I'm gonna go push the button again. I need to push the button again. He didn't put the button away. I can still push the button. And Jimmy Jim. My name is Jim. My name is Jim. My name is. I am. Don't you like to? Hi. Do you? My name is. I'd love having a button that says my name, which is. Don't you think my name is? It's a great name, isn't it? Isn't a great name? Ah, nothing happens. There's gotta be. Let's go get that achievement. There's an 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 achievement. Achievement. Let's go get an achievement. Let's go get. Wait. There's an infinite hole. There is an infinite hole. I want to jump down the infinite hole, but first. Wow.
Now,
wow.
here's something special. You remember that broken
Why does it
test
seem so
achievement
dodgy?
that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yeah. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers,
What?
we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
It is better. I want my achievement. I want my
What
unearned
else?
achievement.
What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
The infinite hole. No screenshots. Oh, there's lots of. I've been here I've been through this one. Jam 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 jam. Opening. What?
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done
here's a
before in a video
way.
game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
I think I'll just keep falling.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe
I'm
do
good.
it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
I don't wanna. Do I have to?
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole.
Oh, did you
Is
now?
it a very, very deep
Oh,
hole?
you
To be
lied.
certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly
this is
deep
great
hole. It
gameplay,
is.
isn't it?
Is it infinite?
I'm falling, man.
That
I'm
sort
having
of depends
fun.
on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
Ow.
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue
Yes,
here
I
is just that
am.
you're unusually fascinated by falling. What
And
normal
your point
person
is?
actually wants to fall infinitely?
I
I
do.
figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
What the fuck do you mean? I'm the problem. You're the problem, you
Things got a little
dumbass.
heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
What do you
Why
mean?
don't we
We
just
both
put
said
all
some
this
things we didn't
behind
mean.
us
You're the
and
only one who
agree to
said
just
anything
call
bad.
the whole mostly infinite.
Hmm.
If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Do I go up? Do I go up, or do I just walk in circles like this? Fine.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas.
So
for the
I'm gonna
sequel.
walk straight out of the room.
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you.
Yes.
The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel
did. I
like you
didn't
spent a
fall for
little
like 2
less
minutes.
time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't
Yes.
think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Fine.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Oh gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing that... Wow.
Damn it.
Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the
Damn it.
hole is not
I
only
found the
not
bottom.
infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
It won't. It'll get
Well,
long.
there it is.
What the fuck?
The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's
That's
more of
more
a
of a-
concavity, or even a very aggressive divot.
It's a South African pothole, is what it is. But
How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth,
I am obsessed
I just
with
can't
holes.
see this scratching the itch.
Yes.
Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
I'm gonna walk in a circle around the hole. There's a circle around the hole. Okay, I'm done. I can't teleport anymore. You
Is
broke
the,
my teleport button.
Teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was
Lies.
working just a moment ago. Try it again.
I did. It didn't do
Still
anything.
nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out.
What?
Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it
Pussy.
than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole.
Look at this.
I get
No,
to
look
do
at this.
literally anything
I don't know.
else.
They cut corners,
Take care,
man. What the
Stanley.
fuck?
I hope you and the
Why
hole
don't you
have
fuck
a
up the
wonderful
hole?
rest of eternity together.
You fucked up the hole, you bastards! What have you fucking done, you bastards? You fucked the hole! I hate you for fucking the hole! The hole's been fucked, boys! They fucked the hole! Fuck 'em! They stole the hole! They have stole the fucking hole, haven't they? Wait, boys, something's happening. What? What? Okay, it went back to normal. It's getting deeper. My rage was a lie. I am. It's getting deeper, boys. This is good. Whoa. Wait, I can choose my perspective. That's a man's face. Look at that. Look at that man. And his bucket. My pus. We're going down the hole. We're going down. Yes. We belong to the hole. The hole is life. The hole is love.
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer.
What?
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley?
No!
Oh, good, you're awake.
Oh,
it
you
seems you
bastard.
had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into
Oh
sleep.
no, you
But we can't have that, Stanley.
buggering
Because this
bastard! What
hole
has
is
you
just
done?
so darn
You stole
fascinating
away my
that I
shit,
want
you
you to be wide
bastard!
awake
What
for
have you
every
done?
second.
You're
I
agent!
don't want to miss a single
Lunatic,
moment.
you stole
So
my
how
bloody
about if I
fucking
just
hole!
pop in from
I
time
was
to
having
time
fun!
and wake you up
I
to
want
keep
my
you
fucking
really,
hole
truly
back!
focused
Give me
on
my
the
hole
hole.
back! Give me my hole
From the
back!
looks of things,
My hole wants
you
to
and
come
I
back!
will
Let me
have
go
many,
back and
many
have
years
fun with the
here in
hole!
this hole.
Give me the fucking
And
hole
I'm looking
back!
forward to all of them.
Give me my hole
Stay
back!
alert, Stanley.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be back.
You've got small stupid guns. Let me out of this stupid hole. I'll smack you with one hard one up the nose. Let me back. I want to change my reality again. Oi! Oi! Where's he's gone? Oh, he's taking away me hole. Again. He keeps taking away me hole. Nah.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Hold. Please needs the old. We needs the old. We needs the old. It's part of life. Why does he close the doors? You smug git. He closed the doors and Git closed the doors. We can't go back into our hole. He's taking it away, our hole. What's this bullshit? He's taking away our hole. At least we's got a good bucket.
Okay, I calm down. I've calmed down. I'm not so angry anymore. I don't want to stab people with tusks anymore. I have relaxed. I had to take a few deep breaths, but I'm back to normal. There is less rage. I will be okay. My hull will be back. What is this?
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Yes. You haven't thought any of this stuff through, have you? My hull was taken away, my collectibles. Oh, there's an exit over there. I think I stand on the epilogue thing a bit longer. Okay, settings world champion is closed. That is disappointing. What else is there? Free achievement. Okay, there's an exit. Let's see what happens if we go through the exit. I haven't actually checked the exit yet, have I? It looks like the exit's probably... Oh, wait. It's this way. What have I seen? Jump circle, this map. Free achievement. The button that says the name of the merch. Settings world champion. Bucket. Office decorations. Epilogue collectibles. Infinite hole exit. Okay, I've done everything and I want my hole back. Bus stole my hole. He locked me out of the hole. I want to jump back in my hole and just change my reality for all eternity.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to?
Yes, but you
Ready
took
to
it
move
away.
on now?
And I have to now be calm. Also, I have a bucket. Ooh, that's some cool art. That's sick art.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features?
I like
Yes,
the
I know
old-
it's not
I want
exactly
the old
clear
back.
yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work.
Is it?
There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment.
Somewhere, that's
I'll arrange
reassuring.
these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
You just arbitrarily coin shit together.
Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
What?
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay,
Well, how
yes.
is that even a
Yes, this is
game? What are
much
they-
better. I feel good about this. Here
What
we
are you
go.
pitching to us?
Version 2.
I don't... That's worse. What?
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot
Huh.
of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating
How
gags,
do I
but they
get
don't
to
add up to
that?
anything.
And this is a jump circle.
I
there's no way
wanted
to do
more than
that.
anything to
That's
create a
that's
sequel
pointless.
that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own.
They won't.
They would need the structure and the
probably-
gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course.
Yes.
With respect.
We need the whole
With
back.
care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2.
Yeah.
Let me see if I
that
can
sounds
whip something up.
Let's see.
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Ooh, let's see. Boys, look at this opening menu. This is beautiful. Wait, let me see this. Resolution, borderless, There was another weird one that came with the game, but it's fine. Let's begin the game, shall we? Oh, it's such a...
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons
I love the way he
to
pushes
push,
buttons
how
one
long
hand.
to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Wow.
And although others
He's
might have considered it
skills.
soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley
Yes.
was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his
Sad.
years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time.
We can't get the whole.
But as he
back,
came
that's
to his
something.
wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Ooh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
What happens if I just wander around a bit and try and go back? 427. Oh! Look! 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 Look!
Stanley picked up the bucket.
It's a bucket. I think there's a way of getting stickers for your bucket. I did get my buckets as well. Why? How do I get stickers for my bucket? I want...
Stanley
Bucket stickers.
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Yes.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
I don't know why I did that.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Wait.
Still no one was here.
Fucking
Stanley needed the
collectibles.
bucket's warmth and
Where are
comfort
the
now more
collectibles?
than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom
You feel
closet.
it, yes.
It wants the bucket.
Wait,
You
no,
can
leave
feel
my
that,
bucket
can't
alone, you bastard.
The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
Oh, I'll smash you with a
I can really
bucket.
feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
It's the
I know how
bucket.
hard it must
Sorry.
be, given the pressure that the
Bit
broom
of
closet
a
is putting
different
on your
shaped voice
shoulders
came
right
out
now,
there.
but you have to be strong.
Good for
This is
shouting
your
at people,
bucket.
though.
This is
That's what
your
that voice is
companion
good for.
and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're we're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom
you,
closet has
broom
sunk
closet. You
that it
can't
has to
have my
resort to
bucket.
this stream of
This
petty
cannot
insults
have my
simply
bucket.
in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends?
What? Go
That
fuck
your
yourself.
relationship is
It's
purely
my bucket.
superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never.
What? No.
Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the
Fuck
broom
you,
closet off for its
stupid
demeaning
fuck.
comments. Expand on the
That's
wide
my
variety of experiences
precious.
you and the bucket have shared together.
precious,
Go through
my
each of them
bucket.
point by point. Share your
bucket is
journal
mine.
entries detailing the rich emotional
Yes.
landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have
What?
changed and evolved over the years. Let
No,
him
I'm just
have it.
obsessed with a bucket. Like, this is my bucket, and I sleep with this bucket every night. I sleep with this bucket in ways
Okay,
you
I've
don't
got
want to.
something which I think will help settle this debate once and for
Ooh,
all.
you did?
Here we go. There.
Bitch,
Now it's
it's
settled.
my bucket.
No more debate.
See?
No
See,
more
it's got
discussion.
Stanley on
Take
it.
a hike, broom closet,
you, closet.
with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Ha! Fuck you, broom closet. Fuck you. Wait. So
All right, I've got a second sticker back here,
Yes.
and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate.
Fuck you, broom closet.
You
Ha!
see, I feel that it works because
Bucket.
the sticker is also a bucket.
Yes.
That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
There really is.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
They need a better name than Stanley figures. Let's not do that again. What? Oh.
Oh, another one.
Another miniature Stanley
Stanley
figurine. This, you know, there really must be a
What would you
snappier
guys
name
name
for these things. What
Stanley
about
figure?
mini stands?
Mini
Stanley
stands?
figs. What about Stanlerines?
I love
Yes,
Stanlerines,
I
it's
think
so
I like
good.
that. Another
Stanlerines.
Stanlerine under your belt.
We gotta get 3 more Stanlerines, boys. 3 more Stanlerines. Woo.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was
It was
the
the
bucket
bucket.
guiding him?
Of course it was the
Yes,
bucket.
this is certainly the most logical explanation. Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines.
you change
And
it
now
to
I'm torn
Stanlerine?
between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley?
I
What
hate
name better
Stanlerine is the
encapsulates
best.
the
Stanlerine,
intrinsic
right,
sense
boys?
of happiness that you
Right,
get
Raven?
from seeing
It's
a small
Stanlerine,
number
right?
in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Stanlerine is the way. I champion Stanlerine. Stanlerines. Stanlerines.
The elevator raced downward,
Right.
plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right.
Yes,
The bucket
bucket.
is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Yes, bucket. It will all be fine. Well, this bucket is the way.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
What happens if we break the game with the bucket? I'll have to turn on the lights, of course. Let's turn on some lights.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Whoa, shit. Didn't actually mean to do it, but I've got the
Just as
bucket.
Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below.
Yeah, I teleported under.
Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall.
Yes, that's what
Now,
buckets do.
what to do next? Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here.
Yes.
So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here. A bit cold, perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis.
Oh, we should have some
But
paninis.
it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like
Oh,
a
look at that
home.
lamp.
In
That's
fact,
a lovely
after
lamp.
some time,
And the
Stanley
rug.
realized that it had been
ties the room
ages since he
together,
had
boys.
even thought of the mind control facility at all.
This
He'd never gotten
rug
to
tied
fully
everything
explore
together.
what was up there, never been able to unearth the many
Look
mysteries
at that
of the
standing
mind
lamp.
control
It's
facility.
lovely. Oh,
This
look
lack
at those
of closure
books.
began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets.
What?
And the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley
no.
became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning.
Oh no,
It unsettled the bucket deeply.
bugger.
Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket
is it?
tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no
together.
avail.
It's fucking
All
wooden
Stanley could
Japanese
think
wooden
about,
clock.
all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying
you
on
do.
the path. It was a
Easy
mistake to
broken.
leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet
Good on you,
Stanley
bucket.
was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground.
A good hole in the
Bucket
ground. It
sighed.
was nice.
True, it wasn't an ending, but it's where we happen to be. And
That's
maybe, possibly,
lovely.
if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on.
Oh,
The
good
two of
for
them
the
waited
bucket.
for a very long time.
It's a wise bucket. Oh. Oh, we won! Okay, wait. I have an idea. Where's the?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Wait, is there?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bucket.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Okay. Okay. Let's move forward. Oh no! I just realized I should take a probably take a screenshot of the executive toilet. I have a friend who would approve. What the fuck? This is different, isn't it? I have a friend who
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
nope.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
employee
And here it was.
lounge,
Had the
boys.
bucket turned out to be correct? Was it? No, never mind.
The
bucket was
was wrong. No.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Heh heh.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The
Sure.
cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Wow, you sound really stodgy.
You're
Bucket.
getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect
the
the first
fucking
one,
what?
and
Figler
then the
and-
first number will equal the
Fucking
second
what?
number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by
What
then.
the fuck is a Figler
Different in
and
the
a Marine?
sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all.
Who named these
You
things? A
can't
fucking
go back
Figler
to when
and
you had
Marine?
no
That's a stupid
Figler
fucking
and
name.
Marines. None of us
That's
can.
indecisive. Make up your mind! Let's return. Okay, let's go this way. What? Whee! What have I found? What? What's with all the tapes? That's a lot of tapes. What is going on? What have I found?
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know.
What?
I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get...
Steal the bucket.
What's that? Who's there? Caporata.
What? Did the game just summon Cthulhu? Cthulhu.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes?
Ooh.
Days?
Nice.
Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Bucket, bucket. Buckety, wuckety, bucket. Buckety, fluckety, wuckety, nuckety. Bucket, 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 bucket. It's a bucket, bucket. I do love a
Stanley
bucket.
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest
Buckets are
and entered the door on his
precious. Buckets are glorious.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room,
Oh,
but Stanley
bollocks.
had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Oh, the bucket's always wrong.
Stanley
yeah.
took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Nope. Wait. I do want to go to the meeting room with the...
And so
bucket.
the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Whoa, what the fuck? There will be a reward for finding them all. Trust completionist instinct. What? What? What ideas? Wave 421 building a bridge. My floating magic car. Fortunately, success! Okay. Somewhere both blue and red. How do I get to the blue and red room? Does anyone remember? Because I don't.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
It's not through here, is it?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy,
I know how to get there.
why
I just
had he
fucked
taken
it.
that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all.
Wait, what's
That's
returning my
strange,
gaze
Stanley
with?
thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket?
Where's
This
my
is all
bucket?
terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this.
Wait.
Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without
my
the
bucket?
psychologically grounding presence of his bucket.
Where's my bucket?
Now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course,
Where's my
very
bucket?
odd.
Bucket. Where's the
Now he
bucket? Where's
felt
the
himself
bucket? Where's the
floating
bucket?
off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far
Bucket,
off in the
bucket.
distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Bucket!
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket. Could
Bucket,
it
where
truly
are you,
be?
Bucket?
He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special
Where is
bucket.
it, Bucket?
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
Bucket, where
He
are
had
you?
to find the bucket.
Come back
He
here,
had to
bucket,
return
bucket,
to his
bucket,
old
bucket,
friend.
bucket. Where's my
It was the
bucket? Where's
only
my
way to
bucket?
truly
Where is the
restore his
bucket?
sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from.
No, I don't.
The real bucket was inside.
Lies,
of him
where's my
all
fucking
along.
bucket?
It was incredibly painful.
What?
Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
What? Went inside? What the fuck?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting
What?
and raving
What?
about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world
What?
can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass.
What?
And she backflipped all the way to work.
What? How do you backflip all the way to work? That is our bucket. We will get it. The fuck?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What the
Stanley
fuck?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
That's a lot of papers on the floor. What the There's a green one. New bucket.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms.
Yes.
With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
Okay, that was
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
Let's
This was
go
not the correct
different way.
to the meeting room.
Actually, I'm
Stanley
gonna go
had felt the bucket
get
calling to
the
him,
last
telling
Stanley
him that the
figurine.
employee lounge was
Stanley-
simply the place to be.
Figurine.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was it? No, never mind. The bucket was
The
wrong.
bucket's always.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do. Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because
still haven't
buckets
gone that
can't
way, have I?
talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Ha! I ignored the bucket. I know something else that we need. Ah.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point.
Fuck you.
Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here?
Because it was put up by someone
What if
else.
The problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket. I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it.
My
This
buckets.
misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
But let me get my figurine. Stanley figurine. That thing.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
What do you think, boys? Is this a bucket? Yes. What?
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
That's an actual bucket. Fuck you. What the fuck? That's a bucket.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Yes, it's a bucket. What?
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
What? Fuck you. Okay, this next one's not going to be a bucket. That's
Item
a bucket.
3.
That's definitely
Is
a
this a
fucking
bucket?
bucket. Yes, it's a bucket.
Correct.
Told
This
you it's a
is
bucket. Give me 3 try. Also, 3D printed bucket's still a fucking bucket. It does the same thing.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
No, that's obviously a fucking tractor. It's a track
Correct.
bucket.
This is a tractor and not a bucket.
Yes,
to be
thank
honest,
you.
I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next
Oh
one.
no, I should have made him look like an idiot. But I did. How was I to know what you'd say? That was not a bucket.
Is this a bucket?
Yes, it's a bucket.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Wait, what?
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Trick
What?
question. Both. Gotcha.
What the fuck? What do you mean both?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see.
Okay.
Should be around here somewhere.
No, it's nothing.
Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket,
Everything
which
is a
of course is
bucket?
not true. Unless... Is that what you think?
Yes.
Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
Yes.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective.
Fuck,
What
that's
is
wrong.
a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago, I could answer these questions with confidence.
I live in
Yet
Johannesburg.
now I'm somewhat adrift.
It does
Do
not
any
rain
of us know what a
in
bucket
winter
is?
in Johannesburg.
Am I a bucket?
It is now raining
Stanley,
in winter
I can't keep
in
doing
Johannesburg.
this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin
What?
with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No, don't you fucking
Okay.
dare. Don't you
Here we
dare
go.
take away my buckets. No, 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 no. Fuck you. Wait, what happened to everything?
What happened? Is everything gone?
I've got a little
Why
pointer
did
thing.
everything
There's that
disappear?
still there.
Wait, was everything a bucket?
Yes.
Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my god, I had no idea. How could... except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue. But it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what. I'll reset everything, and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay?
Good.
And we'll know that it's all
What do you
a
mean, know
bucket.
you're an ass?
But if
I'm
you
not
run
an
into
ass.
anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who
Probably.
knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
The kid stole our buckets though.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh, yeah,
What could
he
it
is.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him,
You know
telling
what?
him that the
I'm gonna
employee
do-
lounge was simply the place to be.
Bucket
and here it
bearer.
was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Yes, the
Stanley
bucket
took
was
the
wrong.
door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do. Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. In here, said the bucket. Go into this dark room over here. Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
No, it was a dark room over here. Buckets led me some. What the fuck?
Now pick up the phone, said the bucket.
Yeah, I picked up the phone.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend.
It's a nice
And
little
then,
apartment.
very distressingly, he began to
Look at
believe
that
the bucket
TV,
could
man.
speak to him.
Look at the kettle. Oh, it's lovely. Ah, my bucket. Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket thing. Press L to take me to work with you. Let's go to work.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head. Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
We're going back to
I'll
work
try
to
anyway.
find our
Stanley?
bucket.
Can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
It's my bucket. Don't listen to the loud man. Press T first to go back home. Ooh, lovely.
You see, he's not listening. he's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from, me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket, this stupid hunk of metal.
It's not stupid, you take that back. To ignore anyone in your life except me? Yes, I will not listen to
Sad. I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to
You
it.
see? You see? You see? You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press M to go home. Press
Yes, I
M
suppose
to
on
go
closer
home.
inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say?
You're in love with the
Sturdier,
buckets.
more capable of transporting liquid.
Yes.
Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Relive the same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Because it is. It's the great.
Oh no. I'm having feelings.
My
The bucket.
senpai.
No. What's going on? Why
Look
do I
at
want to
that.
be with the bucket?
Oh, the
Hear
cat.
what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand.
Bucket.
Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what
Hey,
to
fuck
do
off.
in
It's
this
my
troublesome
bucket.
situation. Stanley, give me the bucket.
No,
give it to
fuck
me.
you.
Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
What the fuck? It's my bucket. Fuck off. Bucket senpai. Yeah, my bucket's still here. Don't worry. Ah, where's my bucket? Actually, I need to do
Just a
something
step
without the
through this
bucket.
door, Stanley thought to
Bollocks.
himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door,
But
I can
the
make
bucket,
it through
I need to
them
get
all.
one more thing because I want to get. I'm gonna do one more ending, then get the. So I'm gonna go get the last collectible, which I
When Stanley came
think I
to a
know where it
set
is.
of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room.
But I
and
can't have the
Stanley knew
bucket
it
with me to
perfectly
get
well.
it.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business,
It was
Stanley
okay.
took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Is it?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but
Can
the
it?
fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
No, I just
Why,
want to get a thing.
I don't
that's
know
just
how
one.
to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm... And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly.
Wait, what the fuck's a
Savor this
Stiggly
moment,
Wiggly? Why
Stanley.
do you keep changing the
This
fucking name?
is a real
It's a
accomplishment. This is
Stanlerine,
doing something
or
just for the
Figlistan-
sake of doing it.
Figlanarine.
Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the
Stiggly
most
Wiggly.
trivial achievements,
Stiggly fucking
you've
Wiggly?
insisted that a job well done is its own reward.
What?
I would
I
tell
did.
you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that.
I
So,
did. I said
instead, I'll
that.
just
What?
say it's
When?
done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Okay.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to
let's
me.
see what happens. I want
You
to see
see
what
that I
happens.
really have wanted you to be happy all this time. The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now.
You're
Don't
rat
you see
racing
that
in
it's killing us,
circles.
Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution.
Do you?
Here, let me show you.
Okay. What?
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes.
Oh, what?
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy.
Do you?
I actually feel happy.
Yeah, I'm bored.
No, wait. Where are you going?
Oh, this is painted on. That's nice.
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley. No!
Ow. Okay, it didn't kill me.
Thank
Bollocks.
God. No. No, no. What are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Will we both go back? Really? Will we? Will we? Will we? Will we? Damn it.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God. Is this really how much you dislike my game?
No.
That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it?
No,
You're
what?
literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Nope. I just want to... Ow.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore.
Sounds so
I
sad.
just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was
I
too
feel
much
so
to
bad.
ask.
He sounds so
It
sad.
looks like you wanted to make a choice after all.
But
Well, this one is yours.
is it? I feel bad for him. Geronimo!
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm
Yep.
going back.
Oh, remember, sweet fuck all. Right. I have all the figurines. What the fuck?
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner
Back
richness?
there.
Yes, I know we're
Can
supposed
you
to be
guys see
telling
what's
a
back
story,
there? I can't.
but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love
Very
nothing
well.
more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Let's go. See, we're finding the figurines again. Ooh, down we go. The first one.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Aha. See, I brought his happiness back by dying.
And here was a second Stan Loreen. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone
Oi,
6.
that's
But you
rude.
continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Rude.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
No, I cannot, but it's
Hey,
fine.
that's exactly right. It was here in the boss's bathroom. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them.
Yeah, I did.
I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
What? It is?
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room.
Wait, what?
Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in
Does
this room,
anyone else?
but it's
I
here
don't
in the
remember this room
memory
at all.
zone, so it must have happened.
What is this room? This room looks like a fever dream. Yes. I'm gonna go...
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
What? What? Okay. What? 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 How did... What's with the weird wipes? And the... What? What am I watching? I love the music, what the fuck? What?
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
8 minutes.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figly and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Let's go onto the rainbow.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
What? That was it?
No,
What?
no, I'm
What?
not done.
Narrator,
I'm
what
not
are you
ready to
doing?
move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Okay. Let's do that.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
I do, but... I say triple speed.
Yes, I love that video.
It's... Dumb. Floaty, floaty, floats.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this
Which one does it
Good room,
replace?
though. A solid room.
I do like the pink room, but what the fuck does it replace? Where am I supposed to find one? It's not in the fucking pink room.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
What? Why are you glad? That makes it more fun if you get all of them? Or am I completely mad?
This was our second Figly.
Was it?
Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
Really? Ooh.
This is it.
That's the first
very
one.
first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the Figlarines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
The exit? The entrance? This room. I mean...
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold
Hey, I
on.
can still jump.
I remember hating it back then. But time does for the rosy
Maybe the
filter
hair's
on
back.
everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it
No,
now.
I can't...
Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
I can't jump anymore. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, yes. The two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
Wait. My office.
And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
What the hell came before my office?
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions.
You did?
I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go.
Yeah.
I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship.
Yeah.
And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with.
I was?
You know what?
What?
Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good.
What?
I did enjoy telling his story so very much.
Huh.
Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Wait, is that is this a restart, or is this... Yeah, it is a restart. Aha, so that was an ending. And with that, I am going to have to finish tonight's stream, because I've gone way longer than I thought I would. And this is potentially one of the longest streams I've done in... I kind of got way too into the game, if I'm completely honest, so... Okay, it's not the longest stream I've done, but it is a longer stream. Let's see who's online. Oh, yeah. That Lego Star Wars stream just went on and never finished. Okay, we're gonna go raid Converse because he popped in one of my chats. So we're gonna go raid Converse because he's awesome. And I put my caps lock on. Well, Converse Fox. Also, you're welcome, Arantis. I'm after all, I'm Jim Skywalker. Nice to meet you. And raid away. Actually, wait, that's in 10 seconds, so we gotta wait. Let's see how many viewers mount up, viewers, mount up. Let's go for raid.
Skywalker 97 raided with